I'm Dr. Karen Costin. I'm going to be teaching your general psychology class this summer. I just wanted to make a quick introductory video just so you can kind of know who I am, put a face with the name, and also to get you started on looking over our Blackboard platform, which is what we're going to be using a lot for this online class. I am a faculty member in the psychology department. Instead of specializing in human behavior, which is what most people do who study psychology, I actually focus on animal behavior. So if you're someone who really likes animals, likes talking about the weird things your cats and your dogs do, please send me all that stuff. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about the class Blackboard page a little bit. I'm going to flip us over to that now. If you've used Blackboard before, a lot of this will look familiar. I just want to make sure you know where to find all of the stuff we need. Also, if you've never done an online course, you're probably going to be using this a lot more than you typically do in an on-ground course, even if that on-ground course uses Blackboard. If you've never used Blackboard before, not a problem. Just leave yourself time to explore this thing. To start off with, we've got all of these tabs on the left-hand side in gray here, and this is where you're going to find pretty much everything you need for this course. Let's just kind of go in order, starting with announcements, which is where we are. I post announcements pretty regularly for this class, especially at the beginning of the semester. Announcements are a place where I basically write the same kind of stuff I would say if we were sitting together in a classroom. Reminders of how to do things, when stuff's due, how to submit stuff, any hiccups that might happen when it comes to assignments or exams, stuff like that. We'll have a lot more announcements towards the beginning because I'm trying to get us all comfortable and used to what we need to do as a class. This class does kind of follow the same pattern from week to week, so once we're a couple of weeks in, you won't need all of those reminders and announcements so much, so you'll see that these aren't quite as common as they were. Next down, we have our Course Home section. Course Home section has almost everything you need right there. Things like your course schedule and course syllabus, which we've got right off the bat. We've also got some information on discussion posts. You're going to have to be posting discussion posts every week and responding to people's posts every week. It's just part of the course. This gives you some more information on what I'm looking for in those posts and some examples. We've got information about your textbook. I'm assuming you all have it already. It's Myers Psychology and Modules, the 11th edition. You've got the photo of it here so you can be sure you've got the right edition. If you've got the wrong edition, it's going to be wrong information, wrong page numbers, all that stuff. I'm assuming, like I said, most of you have this book. If you don't already have it, just a tip, you can rent it really cheap through Amazon right now. It's a little older edition. We did that on purpose. The information's still really good. It was published in 2015. This is not an old book, but it's much cheaper to buy or rent used than the newest editions. The stuff you'll probably use under Course Home most often is honestly the course schedule. Make sure you go into that course schedule. It's going to have all our different modules and readings for the entire summer. It also includes all of our due dates for the entire summer. There's no excuse to say, I didn't know something was due, because they're all going to be right there in the course schedule. I think it's a good idea to print it off. That way, if you lose internet access for an evening, you still know what you need to be working on. Below the Course Home, we have a label that says Meet Your Instructor. This is what I would use if you need to send me an email. I will tell you from experience, people spell my name wrong or spell my email address wrong all the time and will say, you're not getting back to me. It's because I never got it. It was sent to the wrong address. Real easy, just click on send an email to your instructor. It will automatically go to me. It can't get screwed up. So it's not so much about meeting me, but getting in touch with me. That's a good way to go. We will be doing discussion posts. Those will go under discussions, or you can find them under each individual week, which is probably where I'd go for them. Under tools and resources, this is where you're going to be able to check your grades. Those grades get updated very regularly, so you should be pretty up to date with your grade whenever you check it. We've also got some student resources under here. We do have some in-person and online tutors that specialize in the field of psychology. So if you do find that you're struggling with any of this information, please look into that tutoring. It's available to you as a student. There's no extra cost. So it's a really good idea to look into some of that extra help if you feel like you could use it. The other one thing I want to talk about is kind of how the information you need for this class is organized. We've organized this class by weeks. This is a summer class. It's an 8-week course. We will be doing 16 weeks worth of work in 8 weeks. Normally in the fall or the spring, we teach this class over 16 weeks instead of 8. So I have information organized by 2 parts per week, week 1A and 1B, week 2A and 2B, 3A and 3B, and so on. What I will be doing is I'll be putting up 1 week's worth of work at a time. I'll put that information up the Friday before the week starts. So for example, if week 2 were normally starting on Monday, it's not, but let's say it were, I'll be posting week 2 information actually on Friday. I do that so that if this is a week where it'd be advantageous for you to kind of get a jump start on your material, you can start a little early towards the beginning of the weekend. But you don't have to. It's still everything on a week starts on a Monday, ends the next Sunday night. When you go into any of these given weeks as they become available, you will see, don't look at the details here right now, but you'll see an agenda. That agenda is going to tell you what needs to be done and when it needs to be done. So for example, this is an unusual week. Our first week, we have more deadlines than usual because we need to make sure that you're active in the course, sort of as information to provide for the university, which goes to, I believe, federal financial aid or something like that. So we do have something due on Tuesday. We've got some things due by Wednesday. We've got some things due by Thursday. Normally, you have stuff due Wednesday and then stuff due Sunday. We don't tend to have all of these different due dates, right? This is an unusual week. Week 1's a little funny. Week 8's a little funny. But all the other weeks, you'll find that they kind of run in an order. The first half, the week 1A, 2A, 3A stuff, is stuff that you tend to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The second half, the week B material, 1B, 2B, 3B, that's more stuff you would do Thursday through Sunday. You need to make sure you do part 1A before part 1B. You need to make sure you do part 1B before you move on to 2A. You need to go in order to get stuff done at the right time. But some weeks you might decide, let me get it all done towards the beginning of the week. Some weeks you might decide, I'm not going to start on it right away. I'm going to give myself a day or two. There is some flexibility in there. You can't get further than 1 week ahead. That's just the way the university wants us to kind of keep these courses going. Also, you're going to learn from psychology when you study it that you're more likely to remember material if you space out your learning, if you spread it out over time. So honestly, it's better, we call this pedagogy. It's a better way of teaching and learning to space out your learning as opposed to cramming it all in 8 weeks worth of material into 1 week. We're already doing a little bit more every week than you would during the regular semester, but we wouldn't really want to go a lot faster than this. That's why it's kind of spread out over the 8 weeks and you'll get material 1 week at a time. If you forget, what week am I on? What am I supposed to be doing? Go back to Course Home to our course schedule. Download that, look again. It tells you every single thing that's due for every single week, including what exact dates we're on, because it can be easy in the middle of the semester to forget, is this week 3 or week 4? I've totally lost track. So you can always go back to that course schedule. It has all of those dates given. Okay, one other section. I almost forgot. Let's go back. The other thing I forgot, there's a little getting started before our weeks. That's going to give kind of repetitive stuff that you find sort of throughout the announcements, Course Home, stuff like that. But if you're really just starting the class and saying, let me make sure I know what I'm looking at, what I need to look at, you can go back to that Getting Started post. And finally, at the very end here is a section on testing information. You will have 3 exams in this class. We have weekly quizzes, multiple times a week you'll be taking quizzes. But our 3 exams, which are in weeks 3B, 6A, and 8B, because they're listed right there, those you've got to either have a one-on-one in-person proctor that you take that test with, meaning a person who's the one giving you the test, making sure no cheating's going on, or you have the option of doing an online version of that test, which you can take from comfort for your own home, but you do need to download something called HonorLock. To make HonorLock work, you have to be using a Google Chrome web browser, which is free. You download the HonorLock extension for Google Chrome, which is free. But you also have to have a microphone and a web camera, like I do on my computer, which is how I'm making this video. You also have to have relatively decent internet access so that it's fast enough to keep up with the needs of this HonorLock system. Now, that's a lot of information, and figuring out if you can make this work from home or not can take a little bit. So it's all of the information you need on how to make HonorLock work, how to test it, and what to do if you can't get it to work or you don't want it to work. Let's say you just don't want to be on camera, because that's what's happening when you're doing this. We're videotaping you while you take your test. If you just don't want to do that, that's okay. There are options for doing this test on campus at MSSU. Or if you're not going to be local while you're taking this class over the summer, there are ways that the Distance Learning Center can help you arrange for a proctor in your location where you already are. And in fact, there are many locations that already have proctors who've been set up, and this can be a pretty simple process. All of that information you find under this testing information tab here. It's not something you have to do right away, right? It's not till week 3 that we have our first exam. But you should get this figured out in the first week and a half or so, just so you know, do I need to arrange for a proctor? Do I need to make an appointment? Do I need to drive into Missouri Southern to take my test? Or can I just take it from home? Figuring all that stuff out can take a little while. I'll give you a practice quiz so you can test and see if HonorLock is working. And like I said, that testing information's here. You can check it out. Hi. It's not something you have to do the first day we started our class, but it is something that I would probably do sooner rather than later. And remember, I said I pepper you with a bunch of announcements that first week. One of those announcements is on this HonorLock system and how to be able to take a test if you don't or can't get that to work. So that's a pretty good place to have started walking you through all the Blackboard stuff, I think. You can rewatch this. You can also read everything I said in the Blackboard information that's already there. I just think sometimes it's nicer to have somebody walk you through it than having to figure it completely out on your own. If you have any questions about this, if you have any questions about anything, please email me. My email, like I said, click on that contact your instructor, get to know your instructor link is probably the easiest way to be sure you've got it. But my email, it's just my name, Costin-K@mssu.edu. I'm going to be checking my email every day, Monday through Thursday, and then I'll be checking it off and on Friday through Sunday anyway, because it's email and I can check it really easily. So I'll be trying to get back to you guys Monday through Thursday. I'll probably get back to you the same day I get your message. If it's the weekend, it might take an extra day or two. Contact me with questions, contact me with concerns. Make sure you've got your book and get started on psychology. I'm really excited to have a chance to interact with you guys on that our discussion posts. That's where I kind of feel like I get to know you a little bit. But also feel free to reach out if you just have questions or topics you want to talk about. Always happy to hear from you all. I hope you're having a great start to your summer semester, and I will be talking to you guys again soon. Bye.